With a narcissist, it never ends well. Think about that for a minute. So you're learning about narcissism, and you're learning that it wasn't just you, that many other people, billions, truthfully, are currently captured in cycles. And you may say, well, no, there aren't that many. Well, yes, there are. I can give you that answer as to how I came up with it in a moment. But when you realize it always ends the same way with the narcissist, one person is getting injured, one person has to heal, which was you and certainly was me, and the other person just goes on to the next source of supply as if nothing ever happened. Now you may say, what's with these narcissists? Like, how can they do that so easily? Well, they can do it so easily and effortlessly because they don't care. And when you don't care about something, you have nothing to lose. And when you know that you're in a relationship with somebody who does care, and they can lose an awful lot, which again was you, and the other person knows that you care, but they don't care, you are now trapped. You're now vulnerable, and you have no idea what that person could do to you. Or now you figured it out. You see, the narcissists did their best to play mental jujitsu with you. They wanted to play mind games with you. They wanted to control your mind. And this is what is known as the trauma bond, the narcissistic fog, the devaluation stage. It's but one piece of the narcissistic abusive experience, which I don't wish upon anybody. But when you wrap your head around the fact that these narcissists, all they do is continue to go around in loops. And the loops, for the narcissists, plural, it's what I've shared for years. The first part is the love bomb, or the euphoric stage, when people believe everything is getting better and better, and it's almost too good to be true because, well, it is too good to be true. And once the narcissist has their dirty fangs sunken into somebody, then here we go, devaluation stage. Now that person, which again was you, you're being controlled. You're being led around on an invisible leash. You're compelled to answer and or communicate with the person who's abusing you, because essentially your cell phone was a remote control that the narcissist was controlling you with, whether they were sitting right next to you or whether they were 10,000 miles away from you. Any way you cut it, that's the devaluation stage. The third part of the cycle is the ending of the relationship. No matter how you cut it, if you were discarded or you ended it yourself, you're out. When you're out, you stay out. And the fourth part, at times, is a Hoover. You need to remember, get off the radar of the narcissist. If not now, when? Become unhooverable. Do not communicate with these parasitical people. Don't give them the time of day. Now, having said all those things, why it always ends the same way, or why it always ends badly with the narcissist, it's because this is what they have to create at the ending of every relationship. You may say, well, why do they have to do it, and what do they do? Well, what they do is they want to destroy people's lives. What they want to do is they want to smear people's names. What they want to do is steal their time, their money, their energy, their empathy, their love, their relationships, their health, which is a whole big topic that I'll be addressing soon, and more. And what they do is they take whatever they can, and then once they get whatever they want, they discard said person, or they excommunicate them, if you will, meaning you're dead to me, which I shared with you last week or a couple weeks ago in videos. A narcissist of the past said that to me once when I was sitting right next to them during a lunch, and I will never forget that. And I've brought it up again today in the video. Point being is it always ends the same way. One person is always left holding the bag. One person is always left scratching their head, wondering, did I do enough? Should I have done more? Should I have opened my mouth? Should I have spoken my mind? Maybe I could have hung in there a little bit longer. Maybe if I did A, B, C, the narcissist wouldn't have done X, Y, Z. This is part of the healing path, the part I just illustrated, when we, people who don't know what narcissism is, we are blaming ourselves. And what better way could it be for the narcissist when the target is blaming themselves? This way, the narcissist gets their hands not dirty. And the person, which again was you and myself, we were blaming ourselves. Well, when we don't know what's happening, that's what we do. We blame ourselves. Why? Because we have a high level of empathy. Another thing the narcissist doesn't have. They have no empathy. But when we are blaming ourselves, what are we doing? We are stuck in our own mental environment trying to figure out what happened. As we're doing that, the narcissist is out with supply source number 2, 3, 15, who knows? Because they didn't want you to see behind the mask, the narcissist that is. They didn't want you to heal, they didn't want you to elevate, and they did not want you to ever realize that they were a narcissist. Once you wrap your head around that and you figure it out, then you say to yourself, oh my gosh, I am fortunate to be out of that narcissistic trap. I am fortunate that I made it out in one piece. I am fortunate I've acquired the wisdom, and I am extremely fortunate that I've gone no contact. If you haven't said those 4 things yet, you will in time. But right now, you need to understand it wasn't just you. You could have done whatever you wanted to. You could have solved the greatest mysteries of life. You could have had your own currency, your own jurisdiction or whatever, your own state, town, country. It still wouldn't be enough for the narcissist, and they know that. What you didn't know was you were trying to fix an unfixable relationship with a person who was trying to impede your progress. You were trying to fix a relationship that was broken the minute you met that person. You were trying to fix a relationship thinking that you could take that person, the narcissist, and yourself back to the beginning of that period of time, which was the love bomb stage. Well, after the hooks are sunken into a person, meaning you're now being devalued, you're in the narcissistic fog, you're trapped, etc., do you get little intermittent love bombs? Yeah, of course you do. Do they last for days, weeks, or months? No, no, and no. They may last for 3 minutes here. They may last for a car ride for 15 minutes there. Maybe it lasts for a couple hours on a weekend. Maybe you get 12 hours in a day. I can't tell you. What I can tell you is it all falls apart eventually, because this is what the narcissist must do, and it's what they do. They want to destroy people, take their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations, their goals, and their mindset, and they want to stomp on it. They want to crush these things. They don't want people ever believing in themselves. Think about this one. The narcissist plants seeds over and over and over again. Not like a farmer who goes out on the farm and plants crops and harvests them and feeds people, etc. No, the narcissist plants seeds of doubt. The narcissist plants seeds of uncertainty. The narcissist plants seeds of misdirection. And the narcissist plants seeds of you needing them. Think about it. When that relationship ended that you were a part of, perhaps the narcissist said something to you like this. Maybe they said something like this. You can't do better than me. You need me. You'll be back. All my exes, they all still keep in touch with me. Or you'll find out I'm the best thing you've ever had. They will say things like that. And you may be scratching your head saying, well, what? I don't get it. Like, why would you be saying things? The reason they're saying things like that is because they're trying to twist the knife in you deeper. This is when you didn't know what narcissism was. This was when you were being discarded. This is when they were taking the cheapest shots at you of all time. Not even counting embezzling your money, cheating on you with your best friends, stealing your ideas, and more. You see, that's what the narcissist is. They're a big pimple on the you-know-what of progress. That's an old expression from years ago. You all could fill in the blanks if you know what I'm talking about. I'm laughing right there. But that's what the narcissist is. They're essentially a big thorn in people's sides. Now, when you're in the narcissistic abusive cycle, you don't think that. You just think that the person needs your help, and the person cares about you, and they love you, and they're committed to you because they married you, and they're always there for you, or they're there when they can be there for you. How convenient, right? Well, convenience goes away when you wrap your head around the fact that person married you only because of what you would do for them, not because they loved you, not because they care about you. It's because they saw the big fat paycheck you're about to earn, or they saw the inheritance that would come down the line if they just stayed in it with you 5, 10, 15 years. Or they saw the country club accesses that you could get them. Or they saw that perhaps you had a great idea, fantastic idea, an invention, if you will. And they knew that once that got patented, or whatever it would be, that you would be earning a lot of money. And they wanted a chunk of that. You see, the narcissist didn't look at you the way I see you, as a beautiful, bright, shining light. The narcissist looked at you literally as a person who was naive. You were not educated. You had a high level of empathy, and you still do. You were wearing your heart on a sleeve, and you thought that that person actually cared about you. When the narcissist sized you up and they went tick, 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 meaning check, 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 yep, this person's going to be perfect for a period of time. When they did that, all they had to do now was turn to the narcissistic, abusive, old, weathered, dust-laden book and go to whatever page it was and say, wait, I'm love bombing? I haven't love bombed in a while. What do? Oh, I remember now. I have to actually give them the goo-goo eyes, or I have to stare at them a little bit longer, or I have to actually clean up after myself for a few weeks, or maybe I'll pay for a lunch this month, or perhaps I can actually do something that makes it appear like I'm helping them out. Here's a prime example. Watch this one. Side note, pro tip for you, yes, you watching the video, of the gifts that you were gifted from the narcissist. And I'm sure you paid for most of those, one way or the other, probably every way. But think about this. How many gifts did you get from the narcissist that were presented to you, but they weren't even for you? Here's an example. Oh, hey, happy birthday. Here's a new TV. It's going to be great. It's the biggest TV available, and we're going to put it right there, but it's just for you. Well, you thought that the TV was for you, but what you didn't realize is the narcissists themselves, they love TV, but they got themselves a TV, but they gift wrapped it, acting like they bought it for you. That's just one example. This is what they do. They plant seeds and they twist the narrative any way they want to. So again, this is why it always ends the same way with the narcissist. It will never end with two people sitting down like adults talking, dividing the assets properly, dividing the child custody properly, which means they sit down and talk and say, let's go 50-50. You're never going to get the narcissist to work with you. The narcissist will always be working against you. Now that you know that, you need to really take this seriously, and you need to go no contact if you haven't done it. You may have thought up until a few moments ago that the narcissist, there was a little shred in there, a little crumb, a little bit of hope within them that they could be a good person. Guess what? You would be right. There is a little morsel, a little crumb, a little speck within them that is good. But guess what? That speck doesn't come out once a year like Groundhog Day with Punxsutawney Phil taking a quick peek at a shadow or not. That little speck doesn't come out every 4 years like leap year when we have an extra day in the month of February. That little speck comes out whenever it benefits the narcissist. Not that it benefits you. It has to benefit them. So you may say, well, yeah, they do have that little something that I was holding on to. Yeah, I get the whole thing. But remember, that's manipulation. They use it when they want to. If the narcissist could peel off the thousands of masks that they've worn over their lives, just peel them all off and show another human being actually who they are, raw, vulnerable, just just who they really are, what you would see behind all those masks is a person afraid of their own shadow, a person afraid of going to bed, a person afraid of being abandoned, a person afraid of being themselves, and a person afraid and ashamed of everything that they've done. Now, why did I say afraid and ashamed? Because what does the narcissist want to do? Then I'm going to close this video. They want to discard people. They want to crush them, crumble them up like a sheet of paper, discard them, so those people don't exist. And when those people don't exist, like so many billions in the past haven't existed because they never got the wisdom and weren't educated as you were and as I am, well, those people can't talk about what happened to them. That's why you need to really understand. You made it out. The dark days are past. Yeah, right now perhaps you're trying to break one of the four ties, the emotional, financial, physical, or spiritual ties. I get it. I had to do the same thing. But you need to understand, as you're getting stronger, more and more clarity is arriving in your mind. And you should be, if you haven't already, you should be understanding that it wasn't just you, that every relationship the person you're considering enters, every single one of them, somebody gets hurt. Think about that for a minute. Imagine, if you will, imagine knowing for the rest of your life, this will be a mental exercise real quick. Imagine you know that you're going to meet 100,000 people for the rest of your life. I know maybe to you it sounds like a high number. To me, it sounds like a very low number, but let's say whatever it is. And imagine if you know that most of those people are going to be inauthentic. They're going to be wearing masks. Think about what I'm sharing with you. Why I just said that part right there, it's because not everything is how it appears to be on this planet, and everybody reveals themselves. You didn't know what narcissism was. The narcissist knew who they were, what they were, but they never wanted you to figure out. So once you see it, you need to really, really take a step back and say, wait, this wasn't me. It's the narcissist. It's all their baggage, all their toxicity, all their problems. They made their problems mine, and they stole all my money, all my love, all my empathy, all my joy, all my happiness, all my peace. They stole it all. Well, guess what? The good news is you can replace it like I have. And the first step to replacing all of that is kick the narcissist to the curb once and for all. Don't tempt fate. Go no contact. If you haven't, you need to ask yourself what you're waiting for. If you have, you know it served you very well, but before I close this video, understand every one of these narcissistic relationships, they all end at a place called Destructionsville. They all end with a place that the narcissist drops everybody off at. It's a dead end. And that is a place where I was dropped off at too. But guess what? I found a way out of that dead end. And guess what? That's why I create videos each and every day to get you out of that dead end, because you don't belong at a dead end. You didn't deserve to be encountered by the narcissist, but you met them. I did too. You can't change the past. What you can do is take the lifelong learning lessons from the past, not predict the future, apply all the wisdom you've acquired, and live in the present moment. That's what I do every single day. And that's what so many people do that I've worked with over the years during one-on-one sessions. If you are interested in a one-on-one session directly with me, drop an email at narcdailyvideos@gmail.com. That's narcdailyvideos@gmail.com. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. I love you all. I'll talk with you tomorrow. Last thing I'm going to tell you is this. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. Continue to see the light at the end of the tunnel and continue to focus on yourself. Remember, you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. No, that's not narcissistic. What it is implement boundaries, maintain them, adhere to them, and understand that toxicity is only the next block away, which means it's everywhere. So you need to have a small footprint, heal properly, and understand that you made it out and you're living to tell tales about it. I'm not saying expose the narcissist or shout from the rooftops or call them out, anything but. I'm saying when you're out, really exhale and say, oh my God. Yeah, I said that G-O-D word. I'm out. I made it. I've healed. I am an absolutely amazingly resilient and courageous human being. And yeah, I'm talking about myself, but guess what? I'm talking about you. So take these words of wisdom, apply them, and understand something. It wasn't your fault. You were targeted. You were taken advantage of. And when the narcissist did what they did, they never thought you would put yourself back together. You did. And because you did, you're here. Big heart for you, big virtual hug for you. I love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.